Hi, welcome to Read with Why channel and our book Knowledge Extraction Methodology. To understand the core essence of a book deeply, the 20 questions, 20 answers approach is a smart and effective strategy. By asking specific questions, you analyze each aspect of the book, move beyond minor details, and focus on its core philosophies which the author intends to convey without spending excessive time. Are you ready? Let's start.
The Road Less Traveled by M. Scott Peck. M. Scott Peck's The Road Less Traveled profoundly asserts that life is inherently difficult, and embracing this fundamental truth is the cornerstone of psychological and spiritual growth. The book challenges readers to confront their problems through discipline, love, and grace, rather than avoiding them. It offers a powerful framework for understanding human suffering as a catalyst for evolution, guiding individuals toward genuine maturity and self-actualization by taking responsibility for their own journey.
First, why is discipline fundamental to spiritual growth? Discipline is the set of tools we use to solve life's problems, enabling us to face reality and take responsibility. It involves delaying gratification, accepting responsibility, dedicating oneself to truth, and balancing various needs and perspectives. Peck argues that discipline is not punitive, but rather a loving commitment to one's own growth. It encompasses 4 key tools: delaying gratification, accepting responsibility for one's choices, a dedication to truth, and balancing. By consistently applying these tools, individuals overcome challenges and mature psychologically and spiritually, transforming suffering into an opportunity for evolution. Second, why is delaying gratification a cornerstone of discipline? It's the process of scheduling the pain and pleasure of life in a manner that enhances joy, by first confronting problems and enduring the pain necessary to solve them before enjoying rewards. This isn't about denying pleasure, but about prioritizing long-term well-being over immediate desires. For example, studying for an exam instead of watching TV, or saving money instead of impulse buying. By tackling difficult tasks first, we free ourselves to enjoy rewards more fully and without lingering anxiety, leading to greater overall satisfaction and accomplishment. Third, why is accepting responsibility crucial for personal growth? It involves acknowledging our role in our own problems and choices, rather than blaming others or external circumstances. This empowerment allows us to change our situation and take control of our lives. Peck highlights that neuroses often stem from a refusal to accept responsibility for our own behavior and feelings. When we blame others, we surrender our power to act and change. True responsibility means recognizing I am the one who is responsible and taking ownership of our responses to life's challenges, even when external factors are present. Fourth, why is a dedication to truth essential for mental health? It means constantly reevaluating our perceptions and beliefs against reality, even if uncomfortable, to avoid living in a world of self-deception and illusion, which ultimately causes suffering. Peck asserts that mental health is a process of ongoing dedication to reality. This requires honesty with ourselves and others, a willingness to challenge our own assumptions, and openness to new information. Suppressing truth, even painful truth, leads to distorted perceptions and ultimately psychological suffering, preventing genuine personal and spiritual development. Fifth, why is balancing a vital aspect of discipline? It's the flexible capacity to give up old ways for new, to tolerate uncertainty, and to continually reevaluate our commitments and perspectives as we grow and encounter new realities. Balancing involves a constant process of adjustment and reprioritization. It requires wisdom and judgment to decide when to be rigid and when to be flexible, when to confront and when to avoid. This dynamic process allows for continuous learning and adaptation, preventing stagnation and rigid thinking that can hinder personal and spiritual evolution. Sixth, why does Peck define love as an act of will? Love is the will to extend oneself for the purpose of nurturing one's own or another's spiritual growth, requiring effort, courage, and ongoing commitment, not just a feeling. Unlike infatuation, which is often passive and self-serving, true love is an active choice. It involves conscious effort, a willingness to endure pain for the sake of growth, and an ongoing commitment to the well-being and development of the beloved. This applies to self-love as well as love for others, demanding active participation in their spiritual journey. 7th, why is the common perception of romantic love often a myth? Infatuation is a temporary state that often masks a desire for dependence or escape from loneliness, not true love, which demands sustained effort and personal growth. Peck argues that the cultural ideal of falling in love is often a deceptive prelude to genuine willed love. Infatuation is a blissful, temporary collapse of ego boundaries, but it's not sustainable. True love begins when infatuation ends, requiring conscious choice and effort to overcome differences and foster mutual growth, which is a much harder but more rewarding path. 8th, why is dependency not love? Dependency is a parasitic relationship where individuals seek to be nurtured without reciprocal effort, stifling growth for both parties and preventing genuine personal development or mutual support. Dependent individuals often seek someone to take care of them, avoiding personal responsibility and discipline. This dynamic, whether in a parent-child relationship or adult partnership, ultimately hinders the spiritual growth of both the dependent and the enabler. Love, conversely, encourages self-sufficiency, mutual development, and a healthy interdependence, where both individuals contribute to the relationship. 9th, why does Peck describe evil as a refusal to submit to truth? Evil is active opposition to spiritual growth, often manifested as narcissism and a desire to destroy others' wills for one's own gain, resisting self-examination. Peck defines evil as militant ignorance, a refusal to see or accept truth that contradicts one's own will. Evil people actively seek to destroy the spiritual growth of others, often through deception and manipulation, to maintain their own perceived perfection and avoid painful self-examination. This is distinct from ordinary sin or neurosis, as it involves active malice against truth. 10th, why is grace an essential, mysterious element of spiritual growth? Grace is an unearned, mysterious force that facilitates our evolution beyond our conscious efforts, often appearing as serendipity, sudden insight, or unexpected help. Peck introduces grace as a spiritual force that complements discipline and love. It's the unexpected help, the fortunate accident, the sudden burst of energy or insight that propels us forward when we've done all we can. While not controllable, grace is often experienced by those who are actively pursuing spiritual growth and truth, suggesting a benevolent underlying order to the universe. 11th, why is life inherently difficult? Life is a series of problems, and it is through the process of solving these problems that we grow mentally and spiritually. Suffering is a natural and necessary catalyst for evolution and maturity. Peck opens the book with this profound statement. He argues that rather than avoiding suffering, we should embrace it as a natural part of existence and a necessary component of growth. Resisting this truth is the root of much psychological pain. Accepting difficulty allows us to develop the discipline needed to overcome it, leading to deeper understanding and resilience. 12th, why do neuroses and character disorder hinder growth? Neuroses is suffering from too much responsibility, character disorder from too little, both stemming from a refusal to balance one's internal world with external reality. Peck distinguishes between neuroses, blaming oneself excessively, taking on problems that aren't theirs, and character disorder, blaming others, refusing to take responsibility. Both are forms of maladaptation to reality, where the individual tries to force reality to conform to their expectations, rather than adjusting themselves to reality, thus preventing genuine growth and adaptation. 13th, why is an openness to challenge vital for intellectual and spiritual growth? It requires a willingness to revise our maps of reality, even when comfortable, to incorporate new information and perspectives, preventing stagnation. Our maps of reality are the beliefs and assumptions we use to navigate the world. Peck emphasizes that these maps must be continually updated and refined. Holding on to outdated or inaccurate maps, even if comforting, prevents us from adapting to change and understanding the world more deeply, hindering our capacity for learning and evolution. 14th, why is embracing suffering a path to greater meaning? Suffering, when confronted with discipline, forces us to evolve, deepen our understanding, and find purpose beyond immediate comfort, leading to profound insights. While pain is uncomfortable, Peck argues that it is through pain that we learn and grow. If we avoid pain, we avoid growth. Confronting and working through suffering can lead to profound insights, resilience, and a greater appreciation for life's joys, ultimately enriching our spiritual journey and providing deeper meaning to our existence. 15th, why is genuine listening an act of love? It requires suspending judgment and truly seeking to understand another's perspective, extending oneself to create space for their growth and expression, fostering deep connection. Peck emphasizes that true listening is a challenging and active process. It means putting aside our own agenda, biases, and desire to respond, and instead focusing entirely on what the other person is communicating, both verbally and nonverbally. This act of presence and validation is a powerful form of love and facilitates connection, allowing others to feel truly seen and heard. 16th, why is confronting fear necessary for freedom? Fear often paralyzes us, preventing us from taking the disciplined actions or making the loving choices essential for our spiritual evolution and personal liberation. Many of our problems stem from fears: fear of pain, fear of failure, fear of responsibility, fear of truth. Peck suggests that instead of letting fear dictate our lives, we must acknowledge it, understand its roots, and then act despite it. This courageous confrontation is a key aspect of self-discipline and leads to liberation from self-imposed limitations. 17th, why is self-love not selfishness? Self-love is the discipline of extending oneself for one's own spiritual growth, making it a prerequisite for genuinely loving others without unhealthy dependency or seeking external validation. Peck clarifies that self-love is not narcissistic self-indulgence. It's about taking responsibility for one's own well-being, growth, and happiness through discipline. Only when we are strong and whole ourselves can we truly unconditional love to others without seeking to fill our own voids through them, thus fostering healthier, more balanced relationships. 18th, why is solitude a valuable tool for spiritual growth? Spending time alone allows for introspection, self-reflection, and the opportunity to update one's map of reality without external distractions or pressures. In a world filled with constant external stimuli, Peck implies the importance of quiet time for self-examination. Solitude provides the space needed to process experiences, confront difficult truths, and connect with one's inner self, which is crucial for developing a clearer understanding of one's purpose and direction, fostering a stronger sense of self. 19th, why is transcending self-centeredness crucial for spiritual evolution? True spiritual growth involves moving beyond our ego and recognizing our interconnectedness, expanding our capacity for love and compassion for all beings. Peck suggests that much of human suffering stems from an overly self-focused perspective. Spiritual maturity involves gradually shifting our focus outward, recognizing the needs and experiences of others, and understanding that our individual well-being is intertwined with the well-being of the whole. This expansion of consciousness is a hallmark of grace and leads to a more meaningful existence. 20th, why is embracing the mystery of life essential for true wisdom? Acknowledging what we don't know and remaining open to the unknown fosters humility and allows for continuous learning and spiritual discovery beyond rigid dogma. Peck concludes by emphasizing that despite our efforts to understand and control, there will always be aspects of life and the universe that remain mysterious. A mature spiritual approach involves accepting this mystery rather than demanding all answers, fostering a sense of wonder and humility that is conducive to grace and further growth.
allowing for a richer, more expansive worldview.
That's all for today's book. How do you think? Do you have any feedback or your own ideas popping up in your mind? Please feel free to let us know by leaving a comment in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get updates on new book summaries from us. Thanks and have a good day.